Hello everyone, welcome to the SmaulTalk podcast where we talk about films, TV shows, video games, or whatever else comes to mind. I am Jordi and I am here with Saul.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the podcast for episode 2.
Yeah.
Episode 2. Thank you all for the support for the first episode. It was quite fun to see us.
It was crazy. I wasn't ready for that actually.
No, it was really nice. So thank you very much. As always, before we start, there will be spoilers throughout, so make sure you're prepared for that. There are timestamps in the video this time, so you can kind of see where there are spoilers and you can kind of skip along. I think it was Mighty Jaw who suggested that, so thank you for the suggestion. For this episode, it wasn't a good one. For this episode of the podcast, we are going to be talking about our comfort shows, films, games, whatever really so you can go back and rewatch many times and you will never get sick of it. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what your comfort thing is.
Man, I was thinking about this when you first mentioned this topic, and honestly, if you've not seen the first episode, my favorite movies are part of that list. So, Harry Potter, Treasure Planet, all those things. But if I were to ignore those, with movie, I go with movie first, it would probably be La La Land, honestly.
Ooh, that's a great choice.
I saw it for the first time in 2020, and I think I've seen it 6 times since.
That's a lot of time. No, it is a very good... When did it come out? It was
2016. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing it in the cinema, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times after that, but I've listened to the soundtrack a lot. It's very good.
It's very good. I love the soundtrack so much, and to me that movie it's so much fun with the music. I'm not very big on movies that have a musical theme to them, apart from this one and Tick Tick Boom, for example. It's so good. I need to rewatch that sometime. But with La La Land, I didn't know at first that it was a musical themed movie. So when I got into it, the first thing you see is when they are on the highway and singing and dancing. And I was like, what did I get myself into? But I was so pleasantly surprised by the story and how deep the characters go. And the cinematography and everything is so beautiful and so sweet. And then the end is heartbreaking. It just completely broke me, but at the same time it just felt right.
They had sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say they had their endings where they both got what they want. Because if I can remember correctly, I don't remember any of the character names. I just know the actors and actresses. So we had Ryan's character, who, if I remember correctly, got to be the jazz pianist at where he wanted to be and owned his own jazz club.
He had Seb's, his club.
Seb's, yes, and we had Emma Stone's character, Mia, who obviously became famous actor in Hollywood, and it was just nice because they got that final meeting. They got to say hello, and then that was.
I just know that when she's in that club and she sees him and her face, at that moment, and when he starts to play that final song, and you see all that could have been. That's so beautiful. And those final notes when they meet for the first time, it's called Mia and Sebastian's theme, that song, and when he plays that for a final time and just really, I think the word is linger on the notes, I feel it right now as I'm talking about it. That's how special it was. And I just know that after I've seen the movie, and I watched it all the way through, the credits too, because even the humming of City of Stars is just so awesome to me. I just know that after I've watched it the entire way through, I can listen to the soundtrack again, and I could pretty much watch it again if I wanted to, because it's so special, it's so beautiful. I love it.
I think I have to watch it again soon, to be honest, because the way you're describing it's just making me think that was such a good film. I remember when he opens Seb's, he has a thing in the club that she mentioned to him, or maybe she gave him an idea. I can't remember why.
No, that's the name, actually. The name. He wanted to call it something different. I can't exactly. It was something with chick. No, with. Oh man, I don't remember what it was.
It had like a chicken. Like,
it was a
reference
joke in there, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, something with his favorite artist that they once said. It was like a joke, and she was like, "No, you should call it Sebs or something," and that's what it became. Yeah.
I mean, La La Land to me is also quite an interesting film because I mean, people who like jazz probably won't like me for saying this, but like it's the film that like got me really interested in jazz as like a musical genre and maybe like listen to it a lot more, like Nat King Cole especially, just like listening to and like absorbing more jazz, and I just find it so fun to listen to. And it's also the film that got me to want to learn piano because I've got like a little MIDI keyboard here which I've been trying to learn, and it's just like hearing the music in it. It's just things like I want to be able to do that myself. Like hearing the certain tracks like City of Stars or their theme, which is on my sleep time playlist, and I listen to it all the time because it's beautiful.
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
But it's definitely one of those films that had a big impact on me. It's like, yes, I'm going to rewatch that multiple times. Like, that is definitely a good comfort one. That didn't even cross my mind, but yeah, that's definitely a comfort film.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's plenty, and I'm sure we'll get into other ones, but first let's talk about at least your main comfort film or show or whatever.
Well, I'll do, because you've started with a film, I'll do a film. I do have a show in mind that I always will go back to watch, but this is probably this is one of my favourite films as well, but it is one I could just, no matter what mood I'm in, I can always watch the film, and it's The Truman Show.
Right. Man.
I love that film so much. I think I first watched it in school, and I didn't really know what the film was, and then like I had no idea what it was, and then it was on TV, and I was like, oh, this film, it's bringing back all these memories, and I just watched it again not too long ago, and I was like, yeah, this film is perfect. I mean, I love every aspect of it. I think the whole idea behind it is just genius. Like,
it's brilliant.
It is. It's so entertaining, and it's like they build up a whole. Well, obviously they build up a whole life for the characters in the movie, but like there's like lore to his character basically, and it's just so interesting finding it all out in the film. And then like when he finally escapes, and the director's just kind of like, yeah, that's like the perfect ending to the Truman Show, and then the film itself. It's just like, oh, it's just a beautiful film. It's
really well done. I think I watched it for the first time last year.
Really?
And I didn't know anything about it. I originally wanted to watch it, but I didn't know which was which, Yes Man or Truman Show. I didn't know, and that's really awkward to think about. So I watched Yes Man first, and that was funny, sure. But the Truman Show, when I watched that, my God, that is such a beautiful movie, and it's really good. Jim Carrey is great, and obviously when you talk about the Truman Show, you talk about that one shot of him going through the door, and yeah, no, that's great.
That shot is always on my mind when I think about the film, because it's just such a good shot.
Yeah.
And like he says his line, obviously, and it's just like, yeah, perfect way to end the film.
But since you've seen it plenty of times now, do you love the fact that you already know what's going on, that there's no longer a mystery to be revealed to you? Or
I know what you mean, and like genuinely I didn't even think about like that. I already know what's going to happen. I think I just find it so interesting for like the character to find out what's happening, and like how he slowly starts to piece things together in the film. Like I think when he realizes, he starts like testing it out by doing certain things a little bit differently, or like he like goes around certain corners in the street, and he goes, okay, I recognize that, and he does it for a few days, and then he does that thing where he stays in his room all day, and he puts like a fake Truman there, and they're all like, all the directors are kind of telling the other actors like, you need to get into his room and find out, and then you just discover he's gone, and it's like, yes, he's figured it out.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, yeah, no, that's really cool. I can imagine that though. Yeah. That you look at it differently, but still from I'm just sitting here enjoying the movie from a whole new perspective, basically.
Well, it's like you're one of the people who actually watched the Truman Show at this point. Like, I feel like, because you see all the people like watching it in the diners, or like there's a guy in a bath. I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm watching it again, I feel like one of them, because I'm just like, I feel like one of them, but I already know what's going to happen. So it's like, this is really exciting. Like, it ramps up, and you're like, oh, and then they bring in his dad, and then he's like, oh, he's going to stay, and you're like, oh, is he actually going to stay? And like, obviously I know he's not, but like, seeing how he could do that is just so good.
That's great. No, I love that idea behind it. Yeah, no, that's another movie that I'm sure I will rewatch again at some point. Once I've gone through the long list of movies that I want to watch and rewatch.
Yeah, my list of things to watch / rewatch is too long. I need to not focus on rewatching and just get some new stuff done.
But that's hard when you... I don't know, are you a mood watcher?
I don't think I am. Like, I've got a list on Notion of different things to watch, and I will tend to just pick the first one on the list.
Really?
Especially, I mean, if it's a long movie, I'll probably skip it for another day if I'm feeling tired. Like, I think tiredness is my only like mood that affects what I'll watch. Like, if I'm really tired, I'll watch something a bit shorter. Or like if there's something that's been on my mind, I'll watch it. For like when I watched American Psycho not too long ago, the reason I watched it is because I've been speaking about it so much, and I was like, yeah, okay, time to watch this.
Yeah, okay, no, for sure. No, I'm very much a mood watcher. Recently I was like, I need something that's very lighthearted and kind of cliche and stupid, but very fun. So I watched 10 Things I Hate About You, and that was great fun. Same with yesterday. For example, no, it was the day before. I was thinking, hey, I want a romance movie, but something I already know. So I was like, I wanted to watch Call Me By Your Name. Didn't have the time. Have you seen Call Me By Your Name?
Is it? I might be completely wrong. Is that an anime one?
No. It's that's Your Name. Call Me By Your Name is the one with Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer. Which Armie Hammer? It's a great movie.
Didn't you mention him last time? I'm sure he came up last time.
I think we talked about him off the podcast before. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not watched it, but I think I've seen good things about it. I don't remember.
It's a really beautiful movie. Yeah, so I wanted to watch that, but didn't have the time. And yesterday I was feeling a mindless action movie, so I decided to watch Colombiana. And just that's how I go about watching movies. And sometimes I'm in the mood for something that I've already watched, because I'm in the mood for a certain theme or a topic, and I just immediately remember a movie that has that. So
yeah,
that's where I fall in the trap of rewatching movies a lot.
No, I get that. Like, I think I understand like where you come from. I think a lot of people are probably like they need like a certain. Like, some people might watch, like, a happy movie as, like, a pick-me-up if you're feeling a bit down. Like, I think... I do that with, like, videos, like, little short videos. Like, I have like, some saved on my phone, and I'm like, yeah, I need that video right now. Because it brings me a bit of joy. And I recently watched, like, a GDC talk from Marvel's Spider-Man, like, a designer behind it. And he had, like, a whole minute of just, like, bugs and, like, weird bloopers, really. And I've saved a timestamp for it, so that way when I'm, like, I need a laugh, I can just put it on, because it just, like... It made me laugh out loud like a maniac, to be honest. So
I know that.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It was so funny. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm personally not a mood watcher. I'll just watch. It's weird. I'm about to say I'll watch what I'm feeling, but like not like a certain feeling. Like if I'm not. I wouldn't be like I want to watch an action film.
Right.
I'll just go. Does this sound interesting? Yeah, it sounds interesting enough. Let's just throw it on.
I have that sometimes, but yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Yeah, interesting. Wait, where were we before?
Well, I was going to say we were talking about Truman Show, and you said Yes Man. Is that also Jim Carrey? Or is that someone else?
Yes Man. Yeah, that's with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Is there another film? Oh, I think I know that one. I was thinking of another film with what's the guy's name? He plays Michael in The Office, and I can't remember his name.
Stephen Carell.
Yeah.
Or Carell.
Carell, I think. Did he have a film like that? I can't remember. Maybe.
I mean, I know I've seen one film of his where he's him. I guess that's Crazy Stupid Love. I mean, that's the only real life version of him I've seen in a movie.
Yeah, every film I think I've seen with him, other than I think it's Bruce Almighty. Have you ever seen the Bruce or Evan Almighty films before?
No, I have not. Is it good?
Okay, those are like, yeah, they're probably a bit dated comedy now, but they're really funny. So one of them is with Jim Carrey, the other one with Steve Carell, and they're both like biblical stories, but like comedies. So in, I think Bruce Almighty Steve Carell, I'm just going to make a guess and say it is. In his one, he's like Noah, and God is Morgan Freeman.
No, of course.
Yeah. And he's basically been tasked with building an ark, and you just see how, like, him being Noah ruins his actual, like, normal life, and he actually just becomes Noah by the end. It's really funny. And in the other one, they give Jim Carrey becomes God. So Morgan Freeman says, "You're going to be God for now," and he just does all these, like, crazy things, and it's he, like, messes with, like, other people in the film because he has, like, powers of God, so he can do whatever he wants. And then
that.
he realizes he could actually do some good in the world, so he starts listening to prayers, and it's just like,
Oh, wow.
it's a really good one. I prefer it to the Steve Carell one, but if you haven't watched Bruce or Evan Almighty, I would highly recommend it.
Okay. Huh. Yeah. Maybe the one you meant, by the way, was 40-Year-Old Virgin. I feel like that
maybe
matches the vibe and how they look. I've not seen it, but I've seen screenshots
You've not seen
of it.
40-year-old? You've not seen
I have
40-year-old
not.
Virgin?
I've seen
I only
bits, but not the full film yet. It's on my watch list.
I'll admit, I didn't watch it until too long ago, but it's really, really good. I found it was very fun.
Nice.
I'm trying to see if I can find the Steve Carell film I'm thinking, because I think it's kind of like he just kind of does what he wants for like a whole day, and he like climbs up a mountain and stuff. Like, I can only remember like odd bits about it. But I also can't see it on Google, the film I'm thinking of, or the name. So I'm going to ignore that, and I'll find it later.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. What about... So we've done a comfort film. What about comfort TV series? Have you got one that you can always just go and watch?
Definitely. I've got... I mean, obviously Scrubs, as I talked about before. Yeah, I'm on season 4 now. I haven't watched in a week and a half, I think, but I'll get back to that soon. But that's when I'll always come back to. But also, weirdly enough, Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, nice.
While that show is able to tear me apart without any effort, I'll always watch it whenever I want, just whenever I feel like it. I've seen the first season like 10 times already, and it's really well written, and yeah, it's a great show. That just the characters and the story structure and everything just makes me so excited. And well, it's very much a comfort show. It's the kind of show that I can just binge again and again and again, and pretty much talk along to them, just say the lines.
No, I get that. I only watched season 1. I do actually want to rewatch the other season, because I've just heard such like great things about, like, especially the new season and just everything about Stranger Things, and everyone's somewhat obsessed with it if they see it. But it definitely seems like something I want to get back into. Yeah, I'm talking about you specifically. But no, I know a lot of people who love it, and I do really want to get into it. I don't know. I think it's for me because it became like so mainstream. I was kind of put off by it. I was like, it's really mainstream now. I don't want to watch it, and I'm not trying to be a hipster or anything, I promise. But I don't know. I do want to watch it. I just need to. I've got other things I'd rather watch first. But no, I can definitely see it being a good comfort show. I
feel like that's the danger of things becoming very mainstream, and I could definitely see that. That was, I think, maybe that show was the same for me, I think, because there was a time where it's like, okay, Stranger Things everywhere, and I was just getting into Netflix, and at one point my sister was like, okay, you need to watch this, and so I did, and I just got addicted to it. And whenever there's a new season announced, I'll be the first one to watch it when it gets out. Yeah, it's great, and I'll actually take a day off to watch it. And then there's only a couple shows where I do that with. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
I have the same with Atypical. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I don't think so.
It's a really good show about a boy with autism who in the first season wants to find a girlfriend, and his parents are like, that makes no sense, why would you do that? But his sister is also is very protective of him and struggling with her own things, and there's a beautiful story with about family and people dealing with their own problems and living their own lives and a lot of conflict, and it's just very heartwarming, very wholesome, and it's over now, the show, so there won't be any more days off for that one, but it's a show that I would also just watch whenever it came out, because I just knew that it was going to be an adventure again, that I would laugh and that I would cry and I would want to hold someone, and that would probably turn out to be my dog or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So no, it's another one of those shows where I just end up watching it right away, and I'm glad that it got the attention it deserved. And that's with Stranger Things too, because it's became so big, and I'm happy for it that it became so big, because it got the opportunity to get even bigger with production and stuff, that they can make the best story possible. Yeah, that's why I'll definitely keep rewatching that one. See how I got back to it?
Yeah, that's a very good loop, and I like that a lot. I was having a look at Atypical then. I'm definitely going to add it to my list. It sounds very interesting.
Very short episodes, like 30 minutes. Very well written. Music is great. You'll love it. I've got a couple of songs from the show in my Spotify playlist, and whenever I listen to them, I'll immediately think of Atypical, and I'll immediately just pause whatever I'm doing and just enjoy the moment.
Love that.
And my favorite character is the sister. She is amazing. She has the best story. I love her.
All right, that's definitely going to be added on my list. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, yeah, this looks like it could be very good to watch. So yeah, I'll add that to my Netflix.
I feel like you'd love it. Yeah, definitely.
I'll let you know when I watch it. Yeah, looks good.
All right, so you have a comfort show.
I do, and I'm really annoyed because another one popped into my head as I was like thinking about it, and I'm really torn between the two now.
I mean, you can share both if they're both comfort shows.
Yeah, go on then, I'll take you up on that. The first one I can do a bit short because it just came on my head. Adventure Time. I love it. It's my childhood. I watched it like not too long ago. Okay, I say not too long ago. It was a few years ago. Kind of just like watched like the later seasons because I wanted to catch back up, and the music in it, everything about it is just done like beautifully. And like when it finished, they released like 4 episodes to like kind of close off everyone's character, because the people were just like, the ending was fine, but like for me personally, I thought the ending was fine, but like it wasn't enough. Like, how did things end for people? So they kind of did 4 episodes on all like people's favorite characters and just kind of said, here's how they ended, here's how they ended, here's how they ended, and here's how they ended. And yeah, it's beautiful. Like, the first few seasons are obviously very like, oh, this is a kids' TV show, ha ha ha, very funny. But then all of a sudden, it just goes boom. Here's some adult themes in here. It's got adult jokes in it because that's what kids' TV shows do, obviously.
For the parents.
Like, exactly. Or for like the kids watching it in the future, and they're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes boom. Here's some adult themes. Boom. Here's some feelings. Like, have you ever watched Adventure Time?
I didn't grow up with it, so I've maybe seen an episode here and there.
Yeah.
But like, wow, Dutch jumped in there. I've seen like I think a few episodes, and I don't remember them at all. I know the 2 main characters, but that's unfortunately all I know, and I feel like I've been missing out.
I'd say watch it. It's like the music in it. If you like La La Land music, I think it's got that same kind of thing. Like, it's all the music in it. Especially when you get through like the character of Marceline, like her music is all very like powerful, like it's all got like a meaning behind it. And then there's the Ice King, who, like I said before, spoilers, and we're going to talk about spoilers, but the Ice King is actually someone from her past, because there's loads of lore behind Adventure Time, and he's kind of gone mad through his powers, and it's kind of like almost seeing an older relative who, like, I don't want to say suffering through Alzheimer's because it might seem it's not very appropriate for like a kid's show to do that, but honestly that's how I see it, because it's like she knows who he is, and she has a lot of strong feelings towards him because he's like a father figure, but he has no idea who she is or why she's around him so much. He kind of thinks it's for other reasons, and they have this whole episode where like because his like whole thing is he's obsessed with the princesses of the land, and he wants to make them all his like wives, girlfriend, everything. and he wants to write a song. This is one of my this is one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. I'll watch it a lot and I'll listen to the music to it a lot. So he invites her around and they write songs together, and then he thinks that she's attracted to him, and he's like, "Oh, do you love me like that?" And he goes to kiss her, and she's like, "No, not like that at all." And she starts playing a song, because basically he's got like all newspapers, and he's written down everything. Like when he was losing his mind, he wrote down all messages to her, like so that she might see them in the future, or just so he have his thoughts there. And they use those messages in the lyrics of the song, and it's like, wow. And there's like a bit in it where he sings, and there's like a kind of like doubt in his face where he goes, like he almost remembers like what these are all about, and you just think to yourself like, this is a kids TV show, and like I was choking up. Like I don't really cry at films or TV series, but I had like a lump in my throat. I was like, this is really, really hard to watch.
Wow.
And it's so good, and the series progresses, and like, there's just so many more adult themes that keep getting brought into it, and it just works so like well. Like it was really big because they had like two big characters like be a relationship, and it was a same-sex relationship in a kids TV show, and people were like, can they do this? And it's like, they're gonna do it.
That's good. That's wow.
But obviously because of who they were, because of Cartoon Network, I think it was, they couldn't like have the same-sex relationship do anything. But then on the very last episode of the series, they make them kiss, and it's just like, yes, they did it.
Nice.
Last episode, the series is done, we're finished, but they're gonna kiss anyway and make everyone happy because that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about it now, I want to rewatch it because it's so beautiful. If you've never seen Adventure Time, watch Adventure Time. And I'm talking to you, Jordi. I'm talking to everyone watching this. You need to watch Adventure Time. It's brilliant.
I definitely feel like I should. I've been missing out.
Whew. I don't know where all that came from just then. That literally just came out of my mouth. I didn't think about anything I was saying. So hopefully it's actually made some sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. and it's, I love it when someone can talk about a show that way, that it clearly means something to you, and that it clearly means something to so many people, and that it gives off those messages, and it sounds beautiful. And it's also a comedy show for children.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like they didn't have to do any of those kind of messages, but the fact they did, it's so good. Like I watched those like older ones when I was like those more adult theme ones when I was like older, so I always like wonder how like a young kid would react to watching, like what kind of feelings would they get? Would they just kind of see it as a nice song, or would they kind of feel, I just don't know. I'm interested in how like those kind of feelings like get pushed on to people.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, as a child you don't think about those things.
Exactly.
Last week I watched the real life Scooby-Doo. The second movie, Monsters Unleashed. It's great, and as a child you just love the people, you love Scooby-Doo, that's all you care about, and the scary monsters, oh no, and it's, that's great. But when you pay attention to it as an adult, you really take it all in a different way. You hear and see certain jokes that really are not meant for children, and at some points I was like, there's no way that this happens. So there's also that version of that, but there's also with Adventure Time the more serious stuff too, and I love it when movies or shows do that.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I mean, that makes me think for possibly another episode. Have you ever watched Gravity Falls before?
Again, only a few episodes. That was around the time that I stopped watching Disney XD, it was called, I think. So that's basically when I stopped watching. I think that was in Disney XD? Was it? Probably. Is Disney XD a thing in the UK?
It is. I think it was on Disney XD. That's a throwback.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
Is it still called that?
I don't know, because it was called something else before. I can't remember what it was called for us.
I hear it was Jetix, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was that. It has that, like, weird grey logo.
Yeah, it's like an
axe with an eye on it.
An axe with one eye, I think. Yeah. It's like a Pokemon.
Yeah. I remember that. That was a lot of my childhood. That was a lot.
Same. That was when, like, Zack and Cody and stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
That is definitely another episode there.
I was just writing it down while you were still talking. Child shows, we gotta talk about that.
Absolutely. But I mean, I'll just quickly on Gravity Falls. Like, I rewatched it November last year because I had COVID and I was kind of like stuck in my house. So I was like, I'm gonna rewatch Gravity. I'm gonna watch all of Gravity Falls. I've never finished it, and like, it was so good. It was kind of like reminded me of Adventure Time, like serious topics but done like more for teens and young adults. And I was like, yep, this is brilliant. This is everything.
Yeah, I've heard that. Really, really yeah, no, I've seen some screenshots of it, and it looked very adult in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, it's got like a lot of similar things to like, I almost would say Stranger Things. It's kind of got like D&D, not D&D aspects, but like kind of fantasy elements kind of brought into the real world. And it's like, yeah, this is cool. This is fun. Nice. And I remember that the creator behind it did like a whole thing for its like 10th or 15th anniversary. It was only really recent. I can't remember which one. And he was like talking about how one episode Disney or whoever it was would not allow him to make a joke because it was too adult. And it was like, I can't remember what exactly it was. But I think he was trying to swear, but like in a kid-friendly way. So rather than saying like the F word, he'd say like duck. And they were like, no, that's a swear. And he got away with something which was so much worse than anything else. But they just kind of went, yeah, that sounds fine. And he was just like, the fact that this was allowed. And it's like, he did like a whole, he gave us like loads of emails with like things Disney sent back to him. And it was like, they had to go at him for like really stupid jokes. And he was like, do you think kids will understand that this means this? And they're like, yes. And it's like, they won't. And they're like, okay, we'll allow you to make the joke. Because he would make like a joke that no kid would understand, like, at all. It's just for parents or adults watching it. And Disney were like, no, you can't say that. And he's like, why? And it's like, because duck sounds like this. And it's like, no one's going to pick up on that because of the context. You don't need to worry. And it's like, I'll link it to you after if you want.
Sure, really yeah.
It gave me a big laugh.
I feel like the whole duck situation would, as you said, with context, it would probably be a very funny joke too.
Well, I remember they all were, and it's just like, yeah, this is great.
But it really sounds like the YouTube kind of situation where, like, certain things can work and certain things don't. You know, like certain parts of a game that one creator can show and others can't. It's really weird. Like, I feel like I'm getting that kind of vibe from it. You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's a good way of looking at it, to be honest. I think it kind of does fit into the whole thing of like, you know, what can you say, what can't you say, I shouldn't say this, oh, I'm okay to say this, and it's like, you gotta be careful. But yeah, it's fun. Let me see if I'm like having a look at this thing on the side, but this wasn't even the other comfort show I had in mind. It just popped into my head because
right, yeah, of course. What was the other one?
So, Avatar The Last Airbender?
Yes. I really still have to rewatch that. I always watch the first season and then I kind of stop. But it's so good. As a child, I'm just, before you share your reason, as a child, there were so many marathons on Nickelodeon. And I watched every single one of them. And I'd always miss out on the last episode. And after a while, I just made it a decision to watch that last episode, and holy crap, that was so good. So yeah, no, I can definitely see that. It's a great show with great characters. Yeah,
like I've rewatched it a few times now, and I remember I watched it when like new episodes were still coming out, especially for like the final series. So like one of my friends, this was a long time ago, we used to meet up really early on a Sunday morning. I say meet up, I mean we'd force one of our parents to drive us to the other's house very early on a Sunday morning to watch the new episode. And we'd have like breakfast together and wait for this new episode to get released and watch it together like first thing. And we'd be like, yes, this is it. This is great. And I've watched all of it. And I watched Korra not too long ago on Amazon. And I was like, this is just as good, really. I mean, I prefer the characters in Aang more because I just find them. I'm just more invested in Aang's like storyline, I suppose, just because I've grown up with him. But like watching it, I was like, yeah, this is perfect. I love it. Thank you. Watch Korra. I was like, yeah, this is just as good. Thank you very much.
I still have to watch Korra.
Would really, really recommend it. It's very fun.
I've watched like 10 episodes, maybe less. of it, and that was around the time that I stopped watching TV slowly. So it's really sad because it looks great, and I want
it's
the
on
remastered
Amazon.
version of Aang.
Oh yeah, it's on Amazon, I think.
Isn't it on Netflix too, or no longer?
It might. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. I definitely watched Korra through Amazon because I was like, yeah, why not? But then they announced like a few days ago they're doing like films for like 3 animated films. Of,
I think that's been around for a couple months actually.
Is it a couple? Oh, okay. Well, I was definitely late to that. But yeah, I know they're doing definitely one. I think they're doing 2 past Avatars, and then they're doing a film on Aang as well. I think.
Yeah, true.
And I'm just like, yep, give me it all. I want to watch it.
Yes,
like I rewatch Aang.
Absolutely. I'm even excited for the live action one because it's not directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes,
I hope I'm not pronouncing his name right, but I'm not sure.
I can't say his name. I feel really bad. But no, I unfortunately forced my mum and sister to come take me to see that when I was quite young. And like I was at the age where I'd probably find anything good, and I came out of that and I was like, that was awful.
Really? Oh, okay. I was like, the visuals are so cool.
Visuals cool, yeah.
Yeah, but now as I've grown older, it's really bad. It's very bad. But to be fair, his movies are usually not that great.
I think we could have a whole episode just on M. Night Shyamalan.
I would love to. I'm also writing that down.
Yeah, I think we just have. Like the last one I watched of his was old.
I still have to watch that one. That looked cool, but is it bad?
It's so bad. Don't watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Don't watch it. It's so bad.
Just for that episode, I will watch it.
My friend was like, "Oh, it's going to be really good." I was like, "It's not going to be good." He's like, "How do you know that?" I was like,
"Do you know the director?"
I was like, "It's not." He was like, "But the review said it's good." I was like, "Never trust reviews, never."
Exactly.
And then we watched it, and we came out and like, "Yeah, that's pretty bad." I was like, "Yeah, I know." I mean, it was funny to watch because it was like so bad, it was almost funny. And I mean, there was some good, like, cool scenes in it, but like, it was just weird. It was just weird.
That's pretty much every movie of his, honestly. Yeah, we should definitely talk about that in a different episode. I feel like we could spend hours.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll save my thoughts on some of his films for that episode then, because I was just thinking that like he has some good films that I like.
Oh man, yeah, no, true. Me too. There's one that I really. This is difficult.
Yeah, no, we have to shelf man these thoughts and put them away.
Smooth.
Yes,
smooth. You did it. You got the pun.
But no, Avatar is great. I love it. I think the whole world behind it is just so fun, and like having different bending abilities. It just all looks so fun to me, and I always wished for a really good Avatar game.
Me too. I want a fighting game. I want an action.
Ooh, fight! I didn't even think about like a fighting game. That could be so.
But an open world Avatar game also seemed great. I know about that guy that's making one using the Dreams engine from PS4.
Yes, that looks so good.
That looks great, but it's been 4 years at this point, and I've kind of lost interest. Which, you know, I love that he's still going at it, and that he's working hard, and that he's making money off those YouTube videos, and so that he can keep making that game. He's still going at it. No, I feel like if a AAA company made a huge open world Avatar game, that would be great. And I feel like they're really missing out on it. They should have made something by now.
I think how they'd go about it is interesting. Like, would it be a situation of... I think the best situation for it could be is, like, either you are the avatar, and you can design your own avatar, and you do, like, a personality test to find out what bending ability you're going to be. Then you just have to explore the whole world. You can have, like, skill trees for each bending type, and maybe...
And they can slowly learn every element. Yeah, I love that.
And it could be even be showcased, like all the avatars use their bending abilities different to each other, I think, from what I've seen from the show. And like, so it could be like your skill tree, and like if you go down one route, it locks you out of another route, so you can't be like an offensive and defensive airbender. You have to somewhat pick one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think there's a lot of ways they could do it. I mean,
it's kind of like a build at that point, like you're playing Path of Exile.
Exactly. I mean, imagine like an Elden Ring type of game, but like Avatar. I just think it'd be so cool because they're doing a Pinocchio one, like Pinocchio times Bloodborne.
Oh wow, yeah, you know, I've seen that. I would love to play that. It looks really cool. But I feel like with Avatar, on one hand, yeah, that would be very cool, but I feel like they need more of a what's it called, Horizon Zero Dawn kind of Avatar game before they could do that. Otherwise, they're really missing out on the wholesome side of things, I think.
Yeah,
if they go dark
like,
at first, it'll be a little much.
I wasn't even thinking just dark. I just meant like tough, like really.
Oh, like
really
Dark Souls
hard.
tough.
Yeah.
I would love that. No, I would definitely love that. Yeah.
I think it could be fun. I mean, I definitely think it needs like a Horizon type of game, like you said, like just quite relaxed, like not like relaxing, but like comfy maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Like a comfy type of game
where you can comfortably explore the world.
yeah.
Because that sounds like a sick world to explore.
Exactly. I think for like a multiplayer game as well, Avatar has so much potential you could do. Like, you could even, rather than being the Avatar, you could just be a bender of a nation, and that's your character that you can use in multiplayer.
Whoa, an MMO. Imagine that in that universe. No, that would be awesome. I would love that.
Or like you said before, a fighting game, there's so many different characters in the Avatar universe, and like, I think what I like so much about Avatar is like, whilst like benders are like stronger than everyone else, like no one's really too weak. Like everyone can do damage to a degree. Like Sokka, like okay, he's kind of like a joke character, he's a bit weak, but then he gets a katana and he's badass. Like he can,
for sure,
really
and his boomerang.
Cool. Boomerang, he's done a lot with the boomerang. Like, he's cool. He can do things.
He can definitely. I feel like a fighting game with pretty much all the important characters from the show would be really good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite element from the elements is the word? Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think. I really like Earth. I think it's just cool, but I do like air a lot as well, but the only thing I didn't like about air was because like each element kind of had its like subtype. Like earth had metal, water had ice and blood. Too.
Only Katara had blood, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, earth had lava as well. I think that's part of earthbending. That might be in Korra though, so that might be.
I don't remember seeing that in
it's. So. I can't remember if it's fire or earth. You'd think it's fire, but I genuinely don't think it is. But yeah, earth had metal, possibly lava. Water had ice.
Fire, lightning, yeah.
But what does air have? I don't know. I don't think it's in Korra, like it's a subsequent type. I just don't think there is one, and I really like air because I think it's cool, but it needs like second type.
True. No, that makes sense, yeah. No,
what about you?
For me, it was also earth.
Yeah.
As a child, I mean, I was a child, so it's not that embarrassing. I would love to go outside and pretend to be an earthbender.
That's what my friends and I would do. We'd just play all the time.
It's great. Who doesn't love doing that? Can you imagine if you just stomped on the ground and just punched forward and some piece of dirt actually went forward? That would be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, like my friends and I, we play it like all the time. Like obviously, you know, your children, you just imagine things.
You imagine things actually happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
I just had a quick Google of sub skills for like each bending type, and apparently air is things from Korra, which are fine. I don't think they're as cool as the other ones, but they're fine. I won't say it now because you do watch Korra. So
I want to watch it. Yeah. I'll be watching it. All right. No, definitely. Wow. No.
Yeah.
Avatar, man. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, I had the idea the other day, and I was just like, "Yep, I need to talk about Avatar." And then when you were talking about your favorite TV, your like go back TV show, Atypical, I was like going, forgot about Adventure Time. Forgot that was a thing. And then all these memories just flooded in.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Now I feel like there can be many different movies and TV shows still that could be seen as comfort stuff, you know, and I feel like having Avatar in there is a great one. Yeah, no, 100%.
It always is. I mean, like so many of my friends like watch it as well, so we just always have like a connection to it. And we're like, yep, watching that.
It's a great thing to just talk about, even though it's been out for so many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's such a big community behind it as well. Like,
still,
this is why, like we were saying, exactly, and like we were saying about like the lack of games. If there was like a really, really well-made Avatar game, I think it would do so well.
It would be over for the rest of the game market.
Yeah, definitely for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like if they can do it I mean, not to toot our own horn, but I'd say as we described it, to be honest. If they did it like that, I feel like it would just not. It would just be like, yeah, this is a game. This is a very, very good game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you think they're working on one? I feel like they must be.
Well, I think because there's the new films coming out, I think there will be some sort of game in the future. I mean, there were DS games which I played, and they were really okay.
If they're the same as the PlayStation 2 games, then yes, exactly.
I don't think I think there was one that was like ported over. Is it? I think it was. Yeah. And like it was fine on DS, but it definitely was not as good as the PS2 one because the DS obviously it limited you so much more to like what you could do. But I think I played the PS2 one once, and I was like, "Yep, this is brilliant. I love it."
Yeah, no, it's great. I feel like this is a franchise that they are allowed to milk, in my eyes.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that as long as it's like good. As long as you give me something good and it's fun, I'm absolutely fine with it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's great.
Yeah, there was the PS2 one, Into the Inferno, and there was a DS one, which was like a chibi version of the game. It was really weird, but it was really fun.
Huh.
Because they all had like massive heads, and it was just kind of like cutesy, but it was good.
Okay, that's like not... chibi kind of, or
yeah, and it definitely wasn't the same. Like the art style was really different as well. But I think it is the same game.
I mean, the one that I played was kind of top down ish. A bit of an angle, and it was pretty cool, but I mean, I don't think it's very PS2. Yeah. Gameplay too. Yeah, no, I would rather have a third person where you can look around. Very 2022.
Yeah, we need an updated Avatar game, please.
If you're hearing this, please, we're begging you. We know we're game developers, but we don't want to do this.
No, I mean, I did. In one of my uni assignments for my second year, the task was to create like a little asset pack kind of type of thing, and I did like an avatar based one where you could use the 4 different bending styles, and I had like a thing for air, a thing for earth, a thing for fire, and a thing for water. And I remember it was so much fun to do.
Oh wow! Well, that sounds cool.
I was like, if I can do it, someone else definitely can do it and do it better.
I mean, people that have been doing it for a while that are very good at their skills. Yes, please, we're begging you.
Make it. But yeah, I mean, when we were talking about this topic, one show that came into my mind, I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, it's the Justice League animated show, like JLA.
I have not seen it. I have not.
It's really good. I get like pop-ups of it on TikTok every now and then, and I watched it. Okay, I keep saying this. It was a few years ago. I watched it a few years ago. I just don't want it to be that long ago.
Time flies, man.
Exactly. I watched it, and I remember it's like one of those things similar to like other shows that I like. Maybe there's a trend where it's like, obviously it's like cool for kids, kind of like young teens, but then again, adult themes like slapped throughout, and they're like, damn, this is strong, this is powerful, this is good.
Yeah.
You can watch it at any age and you're like, yeah, this is great. And I was thinking about that as my comfort show, but I've only watched it once, so it didn't really feel like a comfort show. It's just something I want to rewatch. But like, I would highly recommend that for people as well.
Man, I don't think I've seen any animated superhero shows. I don't really think so.
I'd say, I always think about this, like, to me, DC does like animated shows the best. Like, I think those ones are just so much better than Marvel because they, for some reason, they do the grittiness of the universe really well in an animated TV show. Like Batman animated, anything with Batman animated is just, from what I've seen, is great.
Huh.
Especially the voice actor for Batman I love. I think it's Kevin Conroy. I think he's the voice actor for him, and he's like, he does it so well. His voice for me is iconic as Batman. If it is him, I might be wrong, and I'm going to check that one. And you obviously have in some situations Mark Hamill who voiced Joker.
Right, yeah, that I know because he talks a lot about it on Twitter.
Yeah, and he also voiced another character called the Trickster, who was like a Flash villain. And I remember in the Flash TV show, Mark Hamill was in it.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for a while that the Trickster and the Joker were just the same person, but that wasn't the case.
I mean, they're meant to be like, I think that, I mean, I don't know fully, but I think they're kind of like, oh yeah, look, we're almost the same character, but we're not. Haha, isn't that fun? It's like, yeah, that's fine.
Sure. That works.
But yeah, it's really, really good. There's like sad moments, just great stories in it. It's just really cool. Plus, you get to see all like DC heroes interact, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. If only we had a good DC movie universe.
Yeah. Instead, we get this. I think we should talk about that as well at some point, and I could force myself to watch the movies that I've chosen not to watch.
I think we should do that. I think it'd be a fun one. I mean, I see it as, to me personally, Marvel best movies compared to the two universes. Comics, they're both fine. I haven't read them too much, but I quite like DC comics. I like the grittiness to them. TV shows, I've watched a bit of both. If you're talking about animated TV shows, DC wins. Anything live action TV show, obviously I think Marvel wins right now.
Right now, yeah, definitely. For sure.
And I mean, talking about that, I think because we're coming up to an hour, but before we finish, have you watched She-Hulk?
Yes, I got caught up yesterday. So
Same. There we go.
I heard a bunch of stuff on Twitter, and I was like, come on, why is everyone being so mean? I'm sure it's not that bad. And sure, some VFX feels a little weird, but it's not as bad as everyone says. And the story is so much fun.
Yeah. The first episode I wasn't a huge fan of, just because I really like the Hulk, and I hate the Marvel MCU Hulk, because I just think he's just a joke, and I just don't like it that much. But like, as I watched more episodes of She-Hulk, I was like, yeah, okay, this is great. I'm sold. I love how she talks to the camera.
Yeah.
It's giving me Fleabag vibes.
Exactly. And the actress is so much fun. I love her. She's so good. And
the only thing so something that made me like really cringe in the first episode is when the Hulk says like bruh, and I remember listening to it and I went no, because like I think She-Hulk's actor says something and he just goes bruh, and I'm like no,
don't do that.
I was like no, don't say that, please.
No, yeah, definitely. I feel like that's very much Hulk. He tries to be, because Bruce is so much into science stuff and such. I feel like that fits his character, where he's trying to be cool and with the time, and that just doesn't work out for him.
Well, yeah, I think that's actually a way I haven't actually thought about looking at it. It's like a really, like, Bruce is obviously like smart and brainy and like a nerd, and Hulk, I suppose, is like dumbing him down in a way. And like, if he combines the two, he's still going to be super smart, but he's still got dumb elements of the Hulk in there, which I suppose is where like the bruh comes from.
That's great, yeah. But it's my biggest problem currently with She-Hulk is the fact that it's going very slow. It's just now the final one of the final scenes in episode 3, I think, or I don't know, at some point in this episode 3 there was this moment with the syringe.
Yes.
And that was the first time that I was like, something's going to be happening. But how are they going to do that in 3 episodes? So,
that was like, I see what you mean. Like, it's a big. This should have probably been in like the first, like at least mentioned very early on, like maybe episode 2 at the start of it, to say like, oh, there's another Hulk. That means there can be more than one Hulk. Does that mean we can make more Hulks?
Exactly. So I feel like it's going a little slow, and I hope they don't rush things in the final 3 episodes. But I'm very excited to see it. And since the episodes are only like 30 minutes, I also feel like they've planned it out right.
Yeah, I think because they're 30 minutes, they're very like consumable in a way. Like you can just watch it and be like, "Yep, this is great." Like Miss Marvel, was that like 50 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. 45, 50 minutes, something like that. And it also has like 5 to 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
Also on She-Hulk, that's crazy.
The credits are insane, but there's also after credit scenes, which is really annoying.
I love them though. The first one especially was great. That was really well done.
That one was funny.
No, She-Hulk is very enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. So before we go, we thought there's one more thing we need to talk about, obviously, and we talked about a comfort film, comfort TV show, but I think it's time we talk about a comfort video
Makes
game.
sense to me.
I'm going to pass the microphone to you.
Oh boy, the pressure. Okay, wait, hold up. You got time to think about it.
What do you mean? We've had ages to think about
Okay, so now, I think to me, there's 2 games, even though I've never finished one of them, which is Jak and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy. I played that as a child on the PlayStation 2, and then when I got a little older on the PlayStation 3, but I always played like the first main area, and I love that so much. It's such a comfy place to be around. So I always play that, and I really love that. But my main comfort game that I have been playing for like 10 years now, and I still get back to every now and then, is Minecraft. I love that game so much, and the mods have made it so much cooler for me. I play the main vanilla game mostly now, but there was a moment, I think, when COVID first started, when I played a mod pack, which was I think Feed the Beast Revelations, because this group on YouTube, OfflineTV, was playing it, and I was like, yeah, they're awesome. I love them. That was when I started watching them because of Michael Reeves.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Same.
Wait, before I continue, Michael Reeves was someone who popped in my recommendations with this chair that he made people's robot ideas. And he popped up in my recommendation. I was like, I don't care about this guy. Why would I click this? I'm not clicking that. And it went on for a week, and after a while, YouTube was like, no, you will really love this. So yeah, so I watched it, and I was like, he's okay, he's all right. You know what? I'll watch another video of his. And then I watched every single video he made, and my God, he's good.
He's so good. Like, while you're talking, I'm going to find the first video I watched. Because, like, same as you, he's the reason I watch OfflineTV, just because I was like, I like Michael Reeves. And he was like, I'm joining these people. I'm like, okay, I like these people now as well. I think the first video that popped up for me was the robot that shines a laser in your eye. And that's his, like, first video. I think it just popped up randomly. So I watched it and I was like, okay, this is amazing. And then after that, I think I kind of just started from, like, the subscriber robot. And then I just watched... Yeah, they all kind of got recommended weirdly, and I think there was a point where I just went, I need to subscribe to this guy and just watch because he's really fun. And some of the videos came out 4 years ago, and I didn't realise I've been watching him for that long, and that's really scary.
That's not how that works. I've been watching him for 2 years now, then, and I already knew Pokemon, but I did not know about the existence of OfflineTV. So when he joined OfflineTV, I was like, whoa, who are all these people? And at first you're like, I don't really care about them. I'll just watch some of the stuff they do together. And then you start watching them separately too. And that's how you get addicted to people.
But I feel like I'm kind of invested in like some of their like relationships with other YouTubers now. There's this IRL stream I really love. His name's Jake.
I love him too. Yeah.
And he's done a few things with them. And then like he hasn't done a lot with them recently. And I'm like, is he still friends with them? Are they still doing things together? I really want to know. And then Pokemon was in Korea and they did a few things together. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That satisfies me. They must still be friends.
They're still friends.
To see Jake,
please. He was also in Amsterdam for TwitchCon with Poki too.
Yeah.
That was great. Those streams were fun. Yeah.
They were a lot of fun. Yeah, OfflineTV, Michael Reeves, fantastic. Minecraft, like you said.
Yes. So I was playing that mod pack for like a few months straight, and I had no intention of quitting at all. But my world got corrupted, and I got really sad, and then I had to restart. But you know how things go when you restart something that's really you were already very invested in. You kind of just don't care anymore. So I usually play Minecraft for a solid few weeks or months, and then I stop for a few months or maybe a year, and then I get back into it. But I can never forget about that game. When I first started playing it in 2012, I was so obsessed with it, and I played it for years without playing anything else really. So it was crazy. I love that time. Minecraft is awesome.
No, Minecraft is awesome. Like my friends and I, because we all moved out, I kind of said we need like a game we can just all play and relax with, and we don't all have the same games. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a Minecraft server. We're gonna play Minecraft together. We started it like last week, and it's been really nice. We've not had loads of time to play it recently, but like it's been like nice to have like a little game to play together. We added some mods into it to like improve quality of life in the game, but we're doing mostly vanilla.
It's very nice. Yeah. Do you have shaders then too, or?
We do not, because we're playing the latest version. Like Optifine's just not a thing.
Oh yeah, that usually takes a bit.
Yeah, and one of the other mods we're looking at adding says do not add with Optifine, so we're like, yeah, we don't need shaders.
That's fair.
We'll do whatever.
No, that's cool. Minecraft is such an awesome game. What's it for you?
Minecraft is so
comfort game?
Stardew Valley, I'd say. It's like my biggest dev inspiration. It's probably what got me into indie dev, which I feel like a lot of people said, but yeah, it did. I think the guy behind it is incredible. I'm really excited for his new game.
What's it called? Haunted Chocolate House?
The Haunted Chocolatiers?
Something with chocolate and haunted, yes.
Yeah. I am like hyped for it. I watched an interview that he did. I watched a few of his interviews, and I'm just like, yeah, he is.
He seems like a great guy.
He is amazing.
Yeah.
He does. He seems lovely. I think when he was making Stardew, there were a lot of like health issues because he was just doing it like non-stop for like 4 years, and then he released something which I just think is just such a cornerstone in the games industry now, especially the indie industry. It's like it's an indie game, but look how far it went, kind of thing. Really, it's
massive. What it achieved and how many people it has inspired. It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's insane what that game did to the game industry, and it's a little sad to other game developers how Stardew Valley is being used sometimes, because I don't know if you ever read any articles for video games that are announced or whatever, but it's a lot of the titles are Stardew Valley with this or that, and it's like, oh man, these people are working hard to create a game, let it be. But at the same time, look at how big this one guy has become with and what he has been able to achieve. It's huge, and that's so inspirational to so many game developers.
I will say on that thing about the articles, I think it is like let a game be on its own, but I also think one way I guess of seeing it is like it kind of gets people who are fans of Stardew and says, look, it's another Stardew game you'll probably enjoy, but it's got an added element of magic, for example. And it's like, well, if I like Stardew and I like magic, I'll like this game. But I see what you mean as well. Like, definitely, it's kind of like, it can be taken in two ways, as like just another Stardew clone, or like...
it's also that it's being used as clickbait is what I'm saying more, because there's definitely a lot of games that deserve to be called Stardew with this, because it will get them more attention, and I love that for them. But there's also games, I think there was this Witch Hotel game or something. I didn't look into it much, but one of the pitches for articles basically was you're taking care of this hotel with vampires, and it's kind of like Stardew Valley. And I was like, wait, what?
I know what you mean.
So I looked into it, and I didn't quite see how it linked to Stardew Valley, and that's when it almost bothered me. Like, okay, I hope it gets that attention.
No, I definitely see what you mean with that. Yeah, I see what you mean with that for sure, because it's kind of like it's being used in a way which doesn't make sense, which is like wrong. But yeah, with Stardew, like I was playing it mainly in uni just as things to relax with, like especially the last year. Like I just kind of play it at the end of the day just to relax, and then one of my other friends was playing it, and we wouldn't do multiplayer, but we just kind of hop in a call and just play together and like share our screen and be like, hey,
that's nice.
Look what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a really nice game. I will admit I've never finished it. By finish, I mean I get to year 3. I've never like done the whole 3 years.
I've never even gotten that far. I'm still on year 1 winter, because I've played like 50 or 60 hours of it, but that's with both my friend and myself. Those two worlds were both at the start of winter now, and I just don't play after that because I get interested in other things. That's but I love that game. Yeah,
I mean, I think my latest save is like year 2. I think it might be the winter, or maybe I'm in early year 3, so that's the first I've ever gone. I'm like, I am finishing this save. It's just when I want to.
Exactly. Take things at your own pace. And I love that about Stardew Valley. There's this whole story you can try and figure out and solve mystery of whatever is going on in that place, but you can do it at your own pace, and that's so beautiful. You wanna mine rocks for 3 entire years? Go mine rocks for 3 years. You know.
Yeah, you can do it.
I don't know. Do you know Call Me Kevin, the YouTuber?
Yeah,
he's doing a series where he posts a video in which he goes an entire year in Stardew Valley without leaving the farm, and at the end of the year he can go out for one day to do all the crap he wants to do, and then goes back, and then the next video he continues on with the game for another year. It is so much fun. I feel like I've started watching year 3 or 4 and I just didn't finish it yet, but those videos are so much fun, and as someone who doesn't really know much about Stardew, it's awesome still. I love those videos.
I might have to check that out, because it's like making me think, how was he doing anything in the game if he can't leave his farm? I definitely
He's very creative about these things. He also does Minecraft, but he plays... wow, I said that weird. Minecraft. But he plays the entire game in just one chunk. He does not leave the chunk, and he's very really funny about it. Yeah, I love that.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to watch that later on.
I could link it to you if you want.
Fun one. Yes, please.
All right, so Minecraft and Stardew Valley, those are great comfort games in my eyes.
For sure. I think I was thinking, do I say Minecraft or Stardew? So when you said it, I was like, cool, I can say Stardew.
Yes. I love
Perfect.
that. All right, so I think that will then conclude this episode of SmaulTalk. It's getting dark here, so that's why I am very grainy.
And it got dark here, which is why I've now got a light on.
Very beautiful.
Moving magic. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you all so much for watching or listening to SmaulTalk. We are also on Spotify if you are watching this on YouTube, or the other way around. Give us a like, give us a rating. I don't know how these things work, but I appreciate you all very much.
Yeah, I think before we should go, you've got a game on Steam. I think you should tell people to go wishlist it.
Oh man, that's too nice. I forgot about that. So I'm working on a game called Dance Assembly, in which you are making a character or whatever you want really, and once you've done creating whatever that thing is, you can make it dance. So yeah, it's on Steam, and it will be out soon-ish. So go wishlist it, definitely.
You should.
All right,
I've got nothing like that to promote, so I'm chill. Just check out our socials, which are linked below as always. And,
all right, appreciate you all. See you next time, where we'll probably talk about childhood shows.
Childhood shows will probably be next to M. Night Shyamalan.
I like that. I like that very much. We've got stuff planned. We're professionals.
Wait, that's a good question there. Which one would you prefer, childhood shows or M. Night Shyamalan? Boom.
There we go. We've got a question for you.
Let us know down below in the comments, please.
Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.